अतिथि हमारे प्रोफेसर रमेश चंद्र शर्मा सर अंबेडकर विश्वविद्यालय में प्रोफेसर पद पर कार्यरत हैं। अनेक डिजाइनिंग के कोर्सेज आपने डेवलप किए हैं, अनेक अलंकरणों से, अनेक सम्मानों से आप सम्मानित हैं। और यूं कहूं कि सम्मान आपको प्राप्त करके सम्मानित महसूस होता है तो इसमें कोई अतिशयोक्ति नहीं होगी। सर, पुनः आपका हार्दिक अभिनंदन एवं स्वागत करते हुए हम आपसे प्रार्थना करते हैं इस सत्र को संपोषित करें। प्रोफेसर रमेश चंद्र शर्मा सर।
ओके, थैंक यू दिनेश जी। मैंने एक चीज नोट की कि मैं अपने दूसरे आईडी से काम कर रहा था और मैंने वहीं से लॉगिन कर डाला। एनीवे, ओके फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू दिस सेशन ऑन गूगल स्कॉलर ना। ओके, अभी जैसे आपको याद होगा, मैंने पहले वाले दिन आप लोगों को बताया था कि गूगल हमें दो तरह से सर्विसेज देता है। एक है प्राइवेट पर्सनल गूगल सर्विसेज, जो आपका अपना जीमेल आईडी है। जैसे मान लो दिनेश शास्त्री जी हैं तो उनका ईमेल आईडी हो गया dineshshastri@gmail.com, वो पर्सनल हो गया। और दूसरा ऑफिशियल इंस्टीट्यूशनल आईडी, जैसे दिनेश शास्त्री @sblu.ac.in और edu समथिंग वो करके। तो वो लगता है इंस्टीट्यूशनल है, लेकिन इस बात के पूरे चांसेस हैं कि बैकएंड में वो गूगल सर्विसेज रन कर रही हो। ठीक है, तो उसकी तो उस दिन मैंने आपको ये बताया था। इसलिए गूगल स्कॉलर आज जो हम अभी समझेंगे, इसमें भी आपको दोनों तरीके से हेल्प मिलती है। पहले तो गूगल स्कॉलर है क्या चीज़, और पर्टिकुलरली यदि अभी तक आप में से किसी ने अपना गूगल स्कॉलर का अकाउंट कॉन्फ़िगर नहीं किया हो तो ज़रूर कर लें। अब उसमें दो तीन एस्पेक्ट हैं, मैं स्क्रीन शेयरिंग पे बाद में जाऊंगा, पहले मैं आपको चीज़ें एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ। अमिता जी, कोई हमारा कोई दोस्त इसमें साउथ इंडिया से तो नहीं है ना, तमिलनाडु?
है सर, है। थोड़ा सा आपको बायलिंगुअल रहना पड़ेगा।
हाँ, वो हिंदी और इंग्लिश का चक्कर हो जाएगा। ठीक है। तो the point is that if you are involved in research, why do we do the research? पहला क्वेश्चन तो ये है। बहुत सारे लोगों में से तो आपका आंसर होगा that to get promotion. That is as simple as I know. And in fact, I think Amita ji, maybe knowing him, I will tell her the name after this session, not during this session, but he was my student once upon a time, maybe around 30 years ago. And he came to meet me when I was director in IGNOU, along with someone, and requested me, sir, please tell us a topic for doing PhD. So I laughed at him that if I'm going to tell a topic for the PhD, how this person is going to do research on that? Because I will tell you the topic in which I'm comfortable and I can do it because I can think on in that direction. But if I tell you the topic, so today you have come to me for knowing the topic. Tomorrow you will come, sir, iske objectives bata do. Next time you will come to me that, sir, can you help me with methodology? Ultimately, what will happen after 1 month, I may have to say to you that you please stay at home. I will do your thesis. I will get it printed. Just I will put your name into it. So that is the situation with many people. Those who go to others that can you tell me on what topic I can do the research. I find it very funny. I have never asked anyone that you tell me the topic on which I think on my own, and I do because I know my own capability. So that is first. But once you do some research, what is the objective behind it? Because you may be knowing that research is of two types. Broadly speaking, we can classify the research into two categories: action research and fundamental research. Fundamental research is which has universal applications, which are broader, global, which are applicable to anyone, any place, any time, any country, whose results are general in nature. And most of the studies which are done keeping in view a large clientele, whether it is national or international, may go to fundamental kind of research, means whose applications, whose results, whose implications can be generalized there. Like for example, nowadays we are suffering from corona and this COVID-19, the latest version is Delta, and there are so many variations into it. So if a person is doing research on that, and whatever the solutions can come up, it is not that they will be applicable only to the population of Delhi, कि दिल्ली के लोगों का खून किसी अलग किस्म का है तो उन्हीं के लिए ये दवाई ज्यादा अच्छी रहेगी. It is not that case, because these results can be applied to anyone. So that is a fundamental research. The other kind is action research. Action research means to find the solution of a problem which is specific to what? Specific to a particular situation, specific to a particular person, a particular institution, a particular locality, or something like that. अमिता जी एक सेकंड, यूनिवर्सिटी से फोन है,
देख लीजिए सर.
Oh, sorry friends, the call was from the university. They want, अभी हम research की बात कर रहे थे, and our annual report is being prepared. They wanted me to have a look on that, so and that's why I sorry for this interruption. So now I was discussing about action research, and in most of the time, if you see, sometimes what happens that the action research is carried out to take care of a emergent specific problem, but it may happen that its results or the solutions can be applied elsewhere also. Yes, it can happen that I am facing some difficulty in my teaching learning, and it may happen that those results may also be equally applicable to the schools in Tamil Nadu or the schools in Taiwan. That is okay. But the issue here is that once you do some research, and if nobody reads that, nobody comes to know that, it is as good as no research. You know, why do we do this? Because we have found some problem, a solution to some problem. And now we want others to know about it, to spread that knowledge, to spread that awareness. So one of the basic tenets of research is to spread the results so that the others can use it. Now, it is a different matter than how the significance of the research is established. The significance of research is established by the fact that how many people uses your research. Now, if they are using it silently, it doesn't mean that this research was not significant. The research was significant if somebody is using it. The only situation it may arise here is that you may be not knowing it, and you are not getting the credit for that. That's why nowadays, just now my university was also telling me that, sir, some people, they have not used APA format in the report, and I told them that look, it is always difficult to keep on formatting from different format, but anyway, I'll try to make them in APA format, like that. So that is the situation, is that we need citations. And in fact, in UGC also, for our research profile, you need better citations. The more the citations somebody has, that means that the research is considered and consulted by as many people as the citations the person has got. So this is a way to find that how important or popular your work has been found by others. For that, now, how to do that, how to get more citations? There are various ways for that. Some are good ways, some are mischievous ways. So like if I'm writing an article, and Dinesh Shastri ji says that, sir, I want to quote your, but we do it mutual, that I will cite your research, you cite my research. That also happens. So that is, but otherwise it is always a good idea that, and you may be having it, that try to consult the studies for your work which have been published in good sources like Scopus journals, Web of Science journals, ERIC indexed journals, PubMed indexed journals, those kind of which are reputed databases. And you also get your work published in those. So you need to take care of these two things. Work on a topic which is a universal problem. If you work on that, everybody will quote you. If you are working on a problem, nobody bothers about it. That why there is too much noise on Aruna Asaf Ali Marg. It is a road in Delhi where our Lal Bahadur Shastri Sanskrit University is located. Aruna Asaf Ali Marg. It is very near to that, and a lot of traffic goes there. So if there is noise, and if you want to study, I think nobody will be bothered. But if you want to study that why there is so much traffic on the ITO or in India Gate or something, then definitely it will attract the attention of someone. So first thing is that try to select a theme which has global implications. Everybody will quote you then. And the second is get your research published in good journals. If you are publishing in a low quality journal, in a poor journal, nobody will look at it. And even if someone, it won't carry any weightage. Because the publishers also, the editors also, they check. The referencing is very, very important. They check for its accuracy, they check for it from where you have quoted, and they check its duration also. There is no point in when you are talking of corona, which is a recent phenomenon of 2019, and to refer and to when in your article you are quoting the articles of 1901 or 19020 or 1940 when this disease was not existing, and it is difficult to establish a relationship that why you are quoting that study. So there, once you are done with that, suppose now, congratulations to you, Dinesh ji, that you have got your paper published. How to let people know about your research is accessible now. Now, in printing, there are various modes of publication. One is the standard subscription model. Subscription model means that you as an author do not pay anything, but your readers need to pay to access that research. So if it is a book, they need to purchase that book. If it is journal, they need to subscribe to that journal or purchase a copy, whether it is personal subscription or like University News. I think nowadays it is 25 rupees per issue. Perhaps Once upon a time, it used to be 5 rupees. Very means it is not expensive at all, and it publishes good information on Indian education system. The university news published by AIU, the Association of Indian Universities. If you have not access to it, I suggest, and I think during this Corona period, they put their PDF on the UGC AIU website for there. So if you want to do some research about data on Indian education system or anything, it is a good source for you to consult that. And then means how do you go about your research there? Publicize it through various platforms. Okay, yeah, 2 years, so it means 350 per year, and you divide by means 12 months, so it is very cheap, very cheap. But it gives you a good, although it is not, unfortunately, it is not in UGC care list, but about from the point of the quality of articles, it gives you good, because it regularly publishes the articles by the vice chancellors or the dignitaries like the President of India or the ministers who go to some convocation to give the convocation speech, as to say, those everything. So that way, it is a quality wise, it is a good resource for you to search for the data. Okay, that way. Now, once you have published something, you need to highlight it. And to highlight that, where do you need to go? I will show you some websites that where you can go. And after that, we will come to our topic of the today, that how to link with it. So there are various platforms, options available to you. One is ResearchGate. So this is ResearchGate. Highlight your research on it here, and if you go to your it is simple, it is free of cost, means you don't need to pay anything, and you just need to do it here. It will show you your name, your score, that how much points you have accumulated, and the statistics or the scores about your work, that how many citations you have got, how many recommendations you have got, how many reads your articles have been read by other people there, and your research, and this is how day wise or month wise or week wise, it keeps on telling you the data about your work. So this is one platform where you can go. Another one is academia.edu. So this is academia.edu, and it is always a better idea that you use your institutional ID, because it is, so here you can see that this is a confirmed ID using my, and so far I am following 25 people, 640 people, 3000 people are following me, and my page is among the top 2% of the global website, means there. So you can say they have given me a trophy. So, and all your research work is here, where you can see that one person has mentioned the 29 readers, and you can see its impact. That is the paper rank 1.6. So it gives you a good here 24, and it related, it suggests you that how your research is like. Our this article 198 views, it doesn't indicate that only 198 people have read it. On this platform, the people, they have accessed that, but there are others also, like our this article has been read by 1022 on this platform, but elsewhere like because my articles are available here too, so they must have some people, they read as per their access wherever they are. Like this article, it has 6 recommendations, means other people, they have, you can see their names, that they have recommended this article to others, that okay, they have found it good, and 56 read, 1 citation it has generated, another article, 5 recommendations, 122 reads, 395 reads, 4 recommendations, and like that. So you see here recommendations, reads, etc., etc. It goes into it. So this gives more visibility to your research, and they can download also if there is some, you have uploaded something. Similarly, from here on Academia. Now, Google Scholar, what does it help and how does it help you? And initially when I was telling you that you may have your personal Gmail ID or your institutional Gmail ID, it makes a big difference. And it is better that if you have the institutional ID, it will be your verified account. Like at present, I'm not in my institutional ID, but let me log into my Google Scholar. So this, and it is simple. Anybody, you can create it using it from there. So you click on Google Scholar, go to Google Scholar, and you will reach it here. Since I have already configured, but in your case, you simply log in to your Google Scholar account. Just go there. When you, if you are not logged into your Gmail ID, it will ask you to log in, and simple. After that, it will create. And from here, by clicking on my profile, you will find your details, that you need to create your profile. You need to add your name, your affiliation, your email for verification. Email for verification it wants, so that the institutional identity is confirmed. Your areas of interest, your home page, and like that. So, okay, let us see, we can try it, and you can write it Ambedkar University, Delhi. Email for verification, because okay, but it will create 2 IDs. So here the institutional email, but otherwise what we can see is that here it is asking you to switch your account. But if you don't have institutional ID, let us say giving it a different email ID, which is not there. Areas of interest, e-learning, home page is optional, and you try to go to next. Here it is saying that please use at institution or leave this field blank. It will tell you that if you don't have the institutional ID, then it is better to leave it blank. So here we go. And now what it has done, that it has created your profile, and now it is showing you to identify the articles which are yours. Now what can happen, that I typed my name as Dr. Ramesh Sharma. So here this Google, it will try to find out all the researches. Now that is the beauty of Google Scholar. Google, as by now you must have understood that this is at present currently the most powerful search engine, Google. If there is anything on the web, there are highly likely chances, unless it is some on some VPN, virtual private network, or in dark web, or deep web, or something. Otherwise, it can find anything, and particularly if it is some sort of platform, including the paid platforms, it can search and then it can trick. So here you need to identify, and now Ramesh is a very common name. There are so many people you can find it. So you need to identify that whether you are the right author for it or not. So here you say that it is Ramesh Kumar Sharma. So Google is thinking that I may be this author who has 181 articles here. Ramesh Sharma here, 250 articles. Oh, okay, yeah. This looks me because this is my book with Dr. Sanjay Mishra. This is our article in Asian Journal of Distance Education. So yes, definitely this is me. So I will click on it, and then let us see. Again, it is showing Ramesh Sharma because here this person has typed R Sharma, and here also Arshi Sharma, but I am not this one, so I will not tick mark it. And here also it is showing me, so it will show you. And there are, it is asking you for the, this is next one. You can keep on going to the next. Here it is grouping, and then it will ask you when you go to the next that Google Scholar can automatically find your new articles as soon as you will upload it on your ResearchGate, or upload it on your here, or even on any journal. Means if you say, for example, my article, this article appeared on this is a Web of Science journal of IEEE. So this study was published in March this year, designing virtual reality applications. Me and our good friend Amitaji knows him, Dr. Yashpal Sharma. He is with a ICT consultant for EDSIL now at CIET of NCERT. So this is our work. So this is available on the internet now. It is simple, you need to have, but Google can find it. So what it will do, this Google, you can tell it that apply updates automatically, or Google Scholar will inform you. It will send you an email and then will let you know, and then you can update on your, and then your profile visibility. Visibility means public can see your profile or not. So about you, whatever you say, you click on done, and then this is settings, it is done. After that, what it will do, as soon as you did the tick marks, it will add all these things. It took only this much time to create it. And here you can see, I can see, and you can confirm whether you are the right author of that or not. So here it has created that total citations so far, means of these researches which have been added to it, are around 2,800. My H index is 25. My I10 index is 51, like that. And here in the year, I have got around 740 citations so far in this year. And in year, this one, like that it goes. And from here, we can see that, okay, yes, I know this is me. I also know this is me. This is me. Okay, this is not me. This is not me. Journal of Geometry, I have never published on K contact and mu contact, etc. So I need to. Next one, a classification of three-dimensional contract. This is also not me. This is also not me. So what you are going to do, you need to select, say like this one, and delete it from here. Otherwise, what will happen that your H index or high index will have wrong entries into it, and it will be inflated H index. But keep in mind that there is a difference between Scopus H index and Google Scholar H index. I think, let me show you an interesting thing. Albert Einstein Google Scholar. He did not create it. He did not create it, I think by that time when Einstein was with us, Google was not with us. So, but his Google Scholar page is there. So you can here you can see it. Let us go to the page if we can search it. Here you are. No verified email because by that time, but he was studying at Princeton, teaching at Princeton. You see, कितना है ये 1,42,812 citations. And his paper, which was published in 1935, has got 20,000 citations. Can quantum mechanical description of physical reality be considered complete? Einstein, Podolsky, and Rosen. This paper was published in 1935. Many of us, even did not born at that time. And it was in here. In some of the cases, you will find there will be a star mark. Now, why this star mark? Google adds it. Sometimes it may be a duplicate entry. Here you can see on gravitational waves, Einstein, and on heuristic point, 5726, 5726. So in case when the software identifies that it may have been added with different resources, so it asks you to check. And if you want, it will give you the option whether you want to remove it or not. But that way, so here, see, in your case, you can create your Google Scholar, and it is a good idea to create your Google Scholar. Go ahead with it. It is a good thing. But in your, unless you have the institutional ID, it will say here, no verified email. But in case of verified emails, what it will do, I think in here, no, this is what I created in front of you just now, but let me see if I can show you my verified account. So where is Google Scholar? Here. This is here you can see that verified email at aud.en. This is me. And here it shows you your areas. And so now you can see that there is a difference between H index and 24 index here. It says, this is what I created. It shows very high. Why very high? Because there are this extra work which has, the system has thought that it can be me and added it to my profile. But here also it can happen. But since I regularly keep on checking all my work and I remove other people whose work is not, so this is in a way still a purified Google Scholar identity of me. Here I can keep in. And here are my co-authors, those who have published with me as my co-author somewhere. And we can see there also, like if you want to see Dr. Sanjay Mishra. So here it is his page, verified email, H index is this one, I index is this one, and like that. And I think Pandaji was your inaugural keynote speaker in this workshop. So here it is his, but he is not paying attention to it. So this H index and I10 index is wrong, because I know that this paper is not his paper, where he has got 149 citations. So this will be reduced. And I know that he never worked with biology. So there will be no caterpillar. अभी मेरा सेशन चल रहा है लाल बहादुर में, उसके बाद ओके. And this way, but you need to be careful. I know that if you see those, because he is from education field, this chemistry or this biology, etc. But the common name, by being the common name, like this author is S.K. Panda. SK Panda, and here S Panda, or this root formation KK Nanda, etc. The software has added into it. As the author of it, this page, you need to scrutinize it, keep it filtering, remove those researches which are not your researches. But this way, now what is the advantage? What is the benefit of it? Is that it gives a exposure to your researches. It tells the people that, okay, where means what is your thing, and then it can automatically keep on adding. Now, how to update your things? Those things which are not belonging to you, you can simply select them like that, this way, and go here and click on delete. So this will be removed and your data will be changed. Now from 2300 it has come to 2200 and something like that from there. I need to put my photograph here, so I can add my photograph by clicking on it either here or here. So it is simple, you click on this and then it will ask you to add your photograph. You select your photograph and the photograph is added. That's that simple. Now it asks you to verify. The issue here is that unverified profile will not appear in search results. That is the advantage here. This Professor Panda's Google Scholar, it is, since it is verified, so what will happen that any person who wants to search something on faculty attitude, barriers, motivators, or e-learning something, the Google will show them this research. And then they can click on this research and can find it where it was published. And since it is PDF available, you can download from it and use it in your work. You can cite it and then the citation will increase. So what will happen that anytime, like what happens, say here, let me see, okay, Google Scholar, ResearchGate. So the system, the software, it keeps on sending you emails automatically on. Say like you will receive an email, something like this. You were recently cited by an author from Technology Institute of Mexico. Here, we found a recent citation of your research, emergency remote teaching, headset, etc., May 21. And in this article, these people, they have, you can view. So that is the advantage here is that as soon as Google will find that somebody has, they will, and from by clicking on it, you can see that who those people there have, used your work in their work. And all these things, this is the original work, e-learning in a mega open university, and these are the other works which have. So it gives you, it tells you that where your work is being referred to. So that is one thing. Now, how to add your work into it? There are two ways to that. And first, these three dots on here, you see this plus icon. You can click on it, and it asks you. You can add article groups. Article groups, like in my case, there were 250 articles it found, and in one go you added all. The second is add articles. Add articles means software will do that one by one. And third is manually. If you think that you published an article which is not online article, which is you published in a print-based journal, for example, University News. University News is a print-based, they do not call it journal, it is a magazine. But you have published in there and you want it to be added to your profile. So you can do it from here, and you can configure the article updates. Means when any news will come, the software should inform you, and like that. So let us say, first let us click on article. When the software finds them, and now see here what it tells. This article is bold and it is showing RK Sharma. It is asking you, if you are there, select articles that you wrote, and here is your name. Now you can tell the software that you use different names, either your full name. Like initially I used to write RC Sharma. Then in some cases, many times in my earlier career, my first article was published in 1993 in a journal. And at that time I used to write RC Sharma. But then later on when I joined IGNOU, I started using, many times I used RC Sharma, then Ramesh Sharma. Nowadays I'm using my full name as Ramesh Chandra Sharma, so software will show that. Then you need to tell the software that you are known by some other's name also, but you are popular with different on different occasions. So there may be something which is already added in your profile. It will be grayed. You know, this is gray in color. This is not activated. It is faded, and it shows here that it is already in the profile. It is telling you. So other things, if you think that you need to click add, and if you tick mark it, it will be added to your profile. Since it is not mine, I will not do it. But let us see if it can search something which is my article, in reality my article, but it is not added in my profile. So let us see if it can tell me something. Okay, this is RC Sharma, but it is not my article. Indian Journal of Plastic Surgery, sorry. Okay, submetal, no. Okay. No, not this. But in your case, you can, if you think that somebody, you found something that which is written by you, simply tick mark it and just tick, and it will be added. Say for example, let us see, it is 2002, characterization of char from pyrolysis of tobacco. Okay, let us add it to my profile. And here I tick mark it, and it is doing something. Okay, so added article to your profile. It has been added. So that way, okay, let me hide it. So this is now, again, if you see that it was 2200, again it has come back now to 2400. So maybe that article which I added had good citations. So of course it is not me, but it may have good citations. So it has added into it. And okay. Now, so that is the thing you need to. Now, if you want to add anything article manually, how do you do it? This is also a simple thing, and it offers you so many options. What you are adding, whether it is a journal, conference, chapter, book, your thesis, your patent, any court case, or miscellaneous, which doesn't fall into these groups. So in title, if you remember your title, say for example, let me see one of my articles. Okay, say for example, this one. This is my article. So I'll simply copy it from here and type it. Now, software, what it can do, because as soon as you keep on typing, it is Google, it will start working in the background, and it can tell you that something exists or not already from there. So authors, you can write oh, please hold on. आपके पास आने वाला था, ये यूज नहीं कर रही है, ये तो डिब्बा तो काम करते हैं ये ठीक है। Oh, okay. So I was telling that you add it here, you add your authors, and say first author and second author, or whatever name you want. Publication is, since you can see from here, when it was published on 3rd March 2021. So you can write it here as 3/2021. The journal is IEEE TCLT. This is a Web of Science journal. Volume, just let write volume 1, issue 1, pages, say for example 6 pages. Publisher is IEEE Society, and like that. And after that, you click on the tick mark. So added article to your profile, and if you think that something was wrong, you can undo it, or you can simply go and remove it from your page. How to remove? Again, let me repeat it. I know that these 2 papers and 3 paper, this is my Bridges to, it is also published in a Web of Science journal. So let us remove these 3 articles. So I will simply go and click on delete, and these will be moved 3 articles to the trash. If you think that wrongly you deleted it, then you can always bring it back from the trash there. Here, by clicking on here, you can sort it in what way, but by default it will show this listing in the decreasing order of your citations. आपके जिस पेपर को maximum citations हैं, they are on the top, and as soon as you keep on going down, show more, you can click on it. It will keep on showing you all your work which is there, and it keep on, please. अपू कोई कुरियर वाला तो यही गेट पे लेटर छोड़ा हुआ है, या तो दीदी को बोल दो जब आएंगे तब ले लेंगे। गेट के ऊपर कोई लेटर छोड़,
सर आपका म्यूटेड है।
आई वॉज म्यूटेड। ये अभी म्यूट हुआ है, तब से मैंने पहली बार किया था तब से है?
नहीं सर, अभी बाद में हुआ बाय मिस्टेक।
अच्छा, वो अपने आप हुआ होगा, मैंने तो नहीं किया था इसको।
अभी सर आप बातें कर रहे थे ना, तो वो शायद म्यूट कर दिया होगा अक्षर ने।
ओके ओके, ना ठीक किया। वो एक्चुअली वो कुरियर वाला आया था और वो नीचे गेट पे कोई पैकेट छोड़ गया वो, सो माय सिक्योरिटी पीपल वर टेलिंग मी कि आप आके ले जाइए इसको। ओके, वेयर आई वाज इन हियर. So that is the thing. Now another main feature of this is, okay, I was telling that even if you add something which at present doesn't have any, like this is my article, it looks like teacher's perception of open educational resources, we published in 2015, but at present it doesn't have any citation. But as soon as anyone who refers to this work, Google will find it and it will add the number of citations automatically. So, you know, there are some work like this work was published in British Journal of Education Technology. It completes step-to-step guide. All these are my works because I can identify that I wrote them. But there are no citations available to it. As soon as the system will identify, it will automatically accordingly put it and arrange it in whatever sequence it will come. Now, the next is these 3 dots. Here you see the articles which were deleted by you. So they will stay here. You can bring them back to the main page or delete them finally. If you select it like here, and this is not me, and you can delete forever. Forever means you are not deleting it from the internet. You are just removing them from your profile. Otherwise they will stay here. Because Google thinks that sometimes we may remove by mistake. होता है ना, mouse pointer jump कर जाता है कई बार sometimes, or you are doing something on your mobile and mobile keyboard pad is very small. So if something goes wrong, then from there you can go there. So again, you can come back to your page, and then you arrange it. This is the title. You click on it and it will organize them in alphabetically. So here now see, it has the dictionary style. First the numbers will come, and after that alphabets will come, A, B, B, C, D. That way, if you want that, or you want it to be organized in citations, so here the highest, and if you want, you can put in them in year wise. So here, if you have converted into year wise, so 2021, and then in decreasing order, it will organize all. It depends on you. You can, it doesn't affect your data. It is just only the visualization, the appearance of how it will look like on the screen. So this is how you can configure your page. And you can, if you want to change your name, you click on it, the pencil icon, and you can you simply type whatever it is. And if you want to update it, New Delhi, India, and you can add more areas of interest like research, teaching, OER, or whatever, and make my profile public. Or if you hide it, it won't be able to. If it is public, then people can see it. They can make a Google search and find you. So as soon as you do it, the things will change here, because it is your own account. You can simply do that there. So that is why. And then here there are no you can add your co-authors also from here. Simply, at present there are no co-authors, so you can click on adding, and it is asking you to search. So like my co-author is Aras Bojpur from Turkey. I can simply search on his name, and it will show me the people whose profile is there. And simply I need to click on plus. So it will be added. The name will come here. Review. If it is the right person, then you review it and tell the software, yes, that is the right person. You click on this tick mark, and here my co-author. What is the benefit of having your co-authors is that sometimes if I forget any article and I have not added it in my profile, but Aras has added in his profile, so immediately it will link up, and those citations will come to my profile also. That is the benefit of it. Let us see another one. Say you click again on edit and say find Santosh Panda, and click here. Now these all are Santosh Panda with different kind of names. You know, it's Santosh Panda, Santosh Kumar Panda, Santosh K Panda, whatever. You need to identify who is the actual person you want to add, or the real your co-author. So this is here. You click on it, review it. Yes, that is the right. Or if you want, you can click on this name and see their page. Okay, you can check. Yeah, this is the right person. Come back to your page and click on tick mark. And here you add all those to your list. So this can. Having your co-authors is a good idea, so that it shows you that with whom other experts you have worked with. So that establishes your credibility also. That nowadays collaborative research is taken positively. It is not that. You will be surprised that perhaps this one article, here we have 35 authors in this article, and this article got a prize also. This one in Europe somewhere we got a best paper research award on this. This is a 35 country study which we did on interruptions to education in COVID-19. And here this is available. If you click on it, it will, if it is direct PDF, it will directly download, or if it is HTML, then it will take you to the website from where. So that is the good advantage of doing it here. Now, one good thing which is useful for you is to activate Google Alerts for your area of work where you want to do that. And Google Scholar can be very, very helpful for you. Here you are in your Google Scholar profile. If you click on it, here is your my library, and you can see that if you add, because this is not my real account, otherwise in my personal account, there the articles you can save so that you can consult them in future. All these things you can keep on saving, and it is very good for you for review of related literature to do that, so that you later on, otherwise what will happen, you will keep thinking यार एक महीने पहले का आर्टिकल पढ़ा था पता नहीं कहाँ पे था. That situation should not come to it. So here you need to just search and then save articles. To save an article, click the star icon below the search. So like if this is an article, here if you click it, it will be saved in here. But how to make it Google Alerts? So you go to Google Alerts. This is very good option. So here it says that for my this ID, it says that you do not have any alert, but on my university ID it keeps. So you can, what you can do, create an alert, click on it. Here you need to add, say like if I want to search something on gamification and simulation or virtual reality, which email, how many results in one email you want, and simply click on alert. Simply click on. This is much you have to do it. So alert has been created, and what it will do, the system, now it will keep on working in the background, and as soon as anything it will find out, it will send you an email here. So automatically the email will come to you by configuring it. Let me see if I can show it to you. Okay, Gmail. So, okay. Here it is. These are the emails which are being sent to me regularly. You can see 10th, today is 11th. Okay, yesterday it sent me these recommended articles, Google Scholar alerts, because this is configured with me. So I don't need to, and these will be the recent research. Say like here, this is 2021, adult education, OER adaptation, MOOCs, open education, diverse, etc., etc. You can see, okay, blockchain in education, new results. So here, all these will be the latest research, 21, 21, 21, like that, and 21, 21. This is very good. Now, what I will do, if I think that, okay, deploying for strong digital diploma, yeah, this is a good research. Let me see what is that. You simply click on that, and it will take you to that paper. And if it is downloadable, then you can download it, otherwise it will tell you. But in that case, you can request your library or anywhere. But the benefit is that from here, you do not need to make a Google search and go there. Directly you click on it and it will take you to that source. So that way it is very, very helpful. Now this is configured on my account. You can see that there are so many. For the past long time, it has been kept sending me these things. So this is how the Google Scholar works. Google Alert is a part of Google Scholar, and I suggest that you configure that. Okay, so I think time over. If there are quick anything, otherwise I think.
I have a doubt, sir.
Bolo.
Sir, in case of, for example, I'm going to present a paper in elsewhere, where they will take into consideration the maximum number of authors who are published in that area, in Scopus or in Web of Science. Do Google Scholar also taken into concern?
I could not get your question. Google will take into consideration what?
No, if I'm going to produce a paper in elsewhere, I'm going to publish my paper in elsewhere.
Okay.
In that, the review talks about the maximum number of people who have written on that area. I have to
Yes.
place that only as a reviewer.
Uh-huh.
So, whereby I can take Google Scholar also into account?
Yes, definitely. Google Scholar is a database of scholarly work. And from there, you can find the relevant researches and then consult them into your paper. And the another advantage is that it helps you in identifying other experts of the area in which you are working. So you can communicate with them also. Like here, if I find that, okay, I have find this study of, say, like if I click on it and it will take me, oh, okay, Dr. Vasilik is a good person. Let me work with him. So I can simply see his details and get his email ID, because here is the email corresponding, and I can, oh, sorry, my screen is not shared. I thought that my screen is shared. In that case, then you can find other work experts and expand your network.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Okay, Dinesh ji, back to you then.
Yes. Thanks a lot again and again for a useful session. And शब्देषु भवतां कार्तज्ञतां प्रकटयितुं वयम् अक्षमाः स्मः. आपने जो एक नई शोध दृष्टि हमें आज दी है, निश्चित ही वह हमारे सभी प्रतिभागियों के लिए और हमारे लिए अत्यंत उपयोगी साबित होगी. उसके लिए आपका पुनः पुनः आभार व्यक्त करते हैं और आपसे पुनः मुलाकात होगी प्रश्नोत्तर सत्र में. धन्यवाद सर. उपस्थिति.
Okay, bye everyone.